breaking out, I'm breaking in. I just can't help this state I'm in. I'm on my way, y'all. So put your shades on, this light's so bright, it's blinding. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. Breaking free, I'm breaking ground. I can't explain this thing I found. The clouds have moved on. I got my groove on. This pep in my steps infectious. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I've been stuck in a rut. I've been shit out of luck. I've been wondering what is up with me. And then I realized it's up to me to decide. I can just be radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love.
You are an irresistible magnet with the power to attract into your life anything, absolutely anything you desire. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm so happy that you're all here. I see my little, there we go. That was out of step there. I was doing some Facebook Live stuff before I came on live here, and I must have knocked my camera off. So, hey, you brought your consciousness to our consciousness. We're all together. We're all unified this morning. That's fabulous. Thank you for being here. You are at the New Thought Spiritual Center Sunday celebration. I'm Rev J. I'm the senior minister here at the New Thought Spiritual Center. And what are we all about? Well, some of you are new, and we love the new people bringing themselves to us, but you might want to know what we're all about. Watch this. It'll tell you. So every month we highlight one of our statement of principles. And this month, the month of August, this year at least, we are highlighting our mission statement. And the mission statement is bust through, soar, and zoom. And that's what we want each and every one of us to do every week, every day, is to bust through, soar, and zoom wherever you are to the next part of your journey. There's a great quote here by Richard Bach. You probably can't see it all. And it says, to fly as fast as thought, you must begin by knowing you have already arrived. Wow. Begin by knowing you have already arrived. And as you saw, our 2021 theme is awaken awakening. And for August, we've been talking about expanding that connection to it, whether it's stretching here and there, stretching your thoughts, your beliefs, your spiritual practice, or like we're going to talk about later today, transcending your transcendence. That's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about. We're glad you're here. Let's step into our spiritual practice right now. This morning, we're going to go into our spiritual placement, you might say, here in your own space. We'll do a little guided meditation, and then we'll step into some words of wisdom and all kinds of fun music and stuff like that. So let's step into that right now. If you would do this for me, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, fill your chest with beautiful, fabulous air, hold it in, and then let it out through your mouth. You don't have to quite make as a lot of a noise as I am, but make sure you exhale through your mouth. So let's inhale through our nose, hold it, 3, 2, 1, then let it out. One more time together. Hold it. Yeah. Let it out. This is a good time to put your feet on the ground if they're not, and cross your legs. Or if you want to cross your legs, why don't you sit with them crossed, totally, not just one leg over the other, but crossed in like as if you were sitting on the ground. Either that or put both feet on the ground. What we want to do is we want to ground ourselves as we are centering. They're something that go together. So please do that. You know, you might have to move around, get yourself comfortable, get yourself, maybe put your hands on your thighs up, allowing opening, and then slowly close your eyes. Now, you don't have to close your eyes when you're going into meditation. You can put them at a soft focus, whatever works for you, but go ahead and do that right now. And let us step in to our personal sacred space. We're going to make our personal space, sacred space, right here, right now. Give a listen. Yeah. You hear the bell? Yeah, that announces that at this time we are entering our sacred space. We're opening our heart, our mind to awaken to the highest and deepest part of our divine selves. In that we plant the seeds of our greatest adventure, nurturing them with water of faith, with the soil of spirit, calling in wisdom from ancient times to quantum science and beyond, so that we now transcend time and space into the grace, love, and power of the universe. Once again, take a deep breath. Let it out through your mouths. Let us begin our journey into a guided meditation. This morning I'm going to read from the Radiance Sutras. Whether you are at a soft focus watching the moving mandala or your eyes are completely closed, know in this moment, above me is endless space. And I now allow and call this endless space to bring its energy, its power, its love, its grace into my life, into my body, into my mind, into my practice. Yeah. As well below me is endless space. And within this endless space that is below me, I invite the power, energy, and love of this planet, of the Mother Gaia, to bring forth its energy at the bottom of my feet, vibrating up my legs, past my knee, flowing this power, this energy, this love, to the bottom, to the base of my spine, to that chakra, that energy point, where I then allow this beautiful energy from this planet to drop down, as if from a grounding cord or a laser beam or lightning bolt back to the center of the earth. Knowing this beauty, this energy recycles itself in a revolution from the center of the planet into our bodies and back down. Knowing that behind me is endless space, to my left is this endless beauty and power as well to my right. Within me is this beauty, power, and presence of divine, endless space. Listen. And hear the voice of the ages. Radiant One, please listen to me. The essence of all teachings is right here. Within your mind, open your inner sight, your inner eyes. And within this soft and steady gaze, look upon all of creation. Receive waves of light as they enter from all around you, singing of infinity. This light, this love, this divine energy touching the back of your eyes, the back of your mind, the back of your heart, spreading forth its immortal, infinite power. Power that created the primal sun and all that surrounds us. Stay present to this enlightenment, to this awakening. For this is the ancient knowing, the sanctuary that is everywhere, full of galaxies that are flowers on the altar of your mind. In this moment, let us know the source of all, the substance that is all. Is in, as, for, through all of us, all of you, all of me. And this source, this substance spreads out, embracing us and spreading out to infinity with ancient wisdom informing as we need, as we require, as we declare. In this and every moment. As we breathe in, we know God is, the divine is, the source and substance of all is. And as we exhale, we know I am, each and every one of us, part of this source, this substance. And as we slowly open our eyes, with great gratitude and appreciation, we allow this knowing to be in every part of our lives. As together we say, and so it is. Welcome back. Take a deep breath. Allow that energy to just flow around you, that infinite space all around. Yeah. All right. Sacred space, guided meditation. Love that part of our celebration every Sunday. Another thing I love is our sacred reader for the week, and this one is no exception to the greatness that we usually have, and that is the great Caressa McElhaney. Are you there, hon? There she is. She's coming up. Boom! There she is.
Hello.
Oh, good, good, good. I hear you. All's good there in Apperheny Hall.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to leave it to you, my friends. Caressa McElhaney.
Good morning, all. How are you? So nice to be a part of this service today. I've been thinking a lot about the now because Steve and I are reading the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So, and it got me thinking, have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and you're obsessing about some event that has happened that you perhaps weren't excited or happy with the outcome of? Or maybe you're anticipating something that's coming in the future and you're either a little anxious or nervous about it. I mean, it's not usually a comfortable situation. And it's because our minds just spin a little bit out of control sometimes, imagining scenarios. And the unfortunate thing is that it's not really real. It's all just fabricated. So, and what that usually does is just cause you suffering or anxiety or pain. For myself, I know it's not helpful. And yet I know that it's, no matter how hard I try, it's difficult to stop creating those thoughts. So all of this stress or turmoil comes from the fact that we are living in our minds. We're not really living in the present moment. We're living in the past or we're living in the future. And this is such an ingrained habit in so many people that it just causes so much needless anxiety, pain, or suffering. We identify with the past or the future so strongly that they become more real than the present, more real than the now. So we deny ourselves the experience of truly living in the world, in our bodies, and experiencing the joy of the present moment. So I'd like to read you a little something from the book, The Power of Now. And I'm sure most of you are at least familiar with the title of this if you haven't read it. But he says, Eckhart Tolle says, the more you are focused on time, the past and future, the more you miss the now, the most precious thing there is. Why is it the most precious thing? First, because it is the only thing. It's all there is. The eternal present is the space within which your whole life unfolds, the one factor that remains constant. Life is now. There is never a time when your life was not now, nor will there ever be. Secondly, the now is the only point that can take you beyond the limited confines of your mind. It is your only point of access into the timeless and formless realm of being. So, the state of being is living in the now and accessing the pure joy that comes from experiencing life as it unfolds. It comes when we are able to let go of the mind's obsessive need to live in the past or the future. Now, a good way to practice this is to just let go of the need to label everything as good or bad and simply accept what is in each moment. Now, this doesn't mean let go of planning or, when that's practical, or having goals, but rather accepting what already is. The more you're able to do this, the greater your clarity of vision, the greater your ability to operate in your daily life with peace of mind and ease, and the more you're able to do with any unnecessary baggage from the past. And already know that your future happiness and success are assured. There's so much power and peace in doing this. And yet it does take practice. So I highly recommend reading this book if you haven't, or rereading it if you have. I'd like to go into Reverend Jay's Affirmative Incantation for today and for this week. He always encourages you, and I encourage you as well, to print this out and tape it somewhere where it's helpful to you, that you'll see every day, just as a reminder, every morning, every night. It's really a great tool. So let's close your eyes or read along with me if you prefer. Here it is. Today, I broaden my imagination and deepen my insight to envision my best life. Today, I live the story of fulfillment in all I think, do, and feel. I shall allow inspiration to speak to me, and I will listen. I shall be awakened to the state of enlightenment, and my powers of causation shall be focused on all that expands my horizons. This is the day I go deep into a state of being the mindful maverick, setting my intention, seeking divine intelligence, taking bold action, and thus expanding my magnificent manifestations. Great reminders, definitely. And affirmations. So let us take a moment now and know the truth together. So again, if you'd like to close your eyes, if that's comfortable, feel free. And let's know this truth, that we are magnificent. We are God. We have all the power of creation, that divine intelligence running through our entire bodies, coursing through our veins, in just pervading our intelligence. It is all part of the same thing. We are all part of the exact same oneness. And I know that as being part of this one, we all have that capability, that power to let go of what doesn't serve us, to let go of the past and let go of the future and focus on the here and now, because that is all that is truly happening. The now, which is so important, so magnificent, and the key to our innermost being. The key to transcending and the key to enlightenment is knowing and accepting and being part of this now, just dwelling in the now. So I claim for each and every person here who is listening, for each and every person on this planet, I claim that this power that we all have is something that we each claim, that we each accept for our own selves, our own lives. And we go forth knowing that we have this power, knowing that the divine is within each of us, that we are part of this, that we all have access to it, and that it is rightfully ours. We simply accept what is in each and every moment as it comes, now and now and now and now. Just keep accepting exactly what is, allowing that peace to expand within ourselves, and that knowledge that we can create whatever we desire to continue to grow as well. I'm so grateful for this knowledge. I'm grateful for this power that I have, that you have, that we all have. And I simply release my word, knowing it is done. And together we can all say, and so it is.
And so oh, sorry. I was reading the book.
Very good.
Thanks for reminding me. I have it. Over 2 million copies sold, and I got mine in, gosh knows, 2005, it looks like. Let me read something while we're switching over there. Steve Apperson's going to sing us a song this morning, and I found this sentence. When consciousness frees itself from its identification with physical and mental forms, it becomes what we may call pure or enlightened consciousness or presence. That's what we're doing right here and now. Speaking of right here and now, later on, the Right Here and Now band will be playing a song at the end of our service this morning. But for now, we have the great Steve Apperson with a song called Time Is Now. And I'm just gonna ramble on until they cut to him. There he is. Here he comes. Steve Apperson.
Reach out, realize the moment, know exactly where you are. Reach down, feel the light and hold it like a magical, mystical star. Feel that wind that moves you forward and the magnet that pulls you back. Deal with the surge that often ignores you while you're searching for the fact that time is now. Let's see what can be inside you. Must be loud and proud about the modesty that pleads inside you. You better wake up to life. Another day it wakes you often like another game of chance. You hesitate and acknowledge the caution, lean on happenstance. With each drop from the ocean, every ray of the sun, life ignites the meaning of emotion. Open your eyes, 'cause life's just begun. Life's just begun. Time is now. Release that big beast inside you. Mustn't worry why or how. Just allow an inner peace to reside in you and get a new take on life. With every star in each universe that sits beside every grain of sand, believe the streams of dreams you can convert, conquer, and command. Command, command. That time is now. Let's see the real ride for you. Get your rising right out from the clouds. Feel the urgency, free life's uncertainty. Get a new take on life. Time is now. And that it is. Right here, right now.
Right here, right now. The time is now. Steve Apperson. written by, as well as performed by Steve Apperson. Thank you so much, Steve. So this morning, I was going to talk to you about self-awareness and spiritual alignment and self-renewal and spiritual discernment. I was going to talk about, well, all wonderful things to talk about, considering our theme this morning is transcendence. But then I read this quote on page 41 in How to Change Your Life, an Ernest Holmes book. And he wrote, the first step for you to take involves becoming aware that you already have the God qualities you wish to cultivate and experience in everyday life. You already have what you want. And I thought, well, if that's true, Dr. Holmes, if it's all there and available to everyone, how am I, well, better yet, do I even need to inspire anyone, any of you out there, to transcend your transcendence, which is my talk title today, Transcend Your Transcendence. You know, self-improvement gurus would tell you it's so simple. All you have to do is ask the right questions to receive the best answers. You know, there's a story that I heard about an archaeologist who, after years of research and exploration, discovered this ancient book that was said to answer any question you asked of it, absolutely any question. And being a professional, of course, the archaeologist took this book back to his prestigious university to research its power in a controlled manner, double-blind, peer-reviewed, all that good stuff. So he rounded up 3 of the university's brightest minds. Now, first, he talked to a researcher of astrophysics who had led the field for many, many years and had produced many, many papers theorizing all the cosmic events and what it all means and how it happened. And so this archaeologist told the astrophysicist to ask the book one question, right? And to document then whether the response was accurate according to all the research that he had done. And so the astrophysicist thought for a moment and asked the book, what was existence like before the Big Bang? The archaeologist opened the book, turned it around, and showed it to the physicist, who instantly, eyes wide open, went on a manic quest and started scrawling equations on the nearest pad of paper, mumbling to himself over and over and over. Shocked and a little uneasy, but determined to see his research through, the archaeologist then moved on to the next researcher, a leading professor of mathematics, who had produced many papers on numbers and their effect on the humanity and human interpretations behind the ever-growing sequences and quantities and the relation to space and structure and order, all that mathematical wonderness. And the mathematician, knowing why he was there, barely thought for a second and asked the book, how can a human being best visualize infinity? How can a human being best visualize infinity? And the archaeologist once again opened the book, turned it around, and showed it to the mathematician, whose eyes widened in shock and confusion and immediately ran to the chalkboard at the other end of the room, frantically writing formulas, principles, and Archimedes calculations, trying to make sense of what he had seen, the answer to his ultimate question. Now, shaken but persistent, the archaeologist then turned to the final volunteer, one of the world's most highly regarded philosophers, who had spent her whole life researching the different views and interpretations of a variety of philosophical thoughts and systems and aesthetics and debates. And the philosopher, of course, knew the process, had watched the other 2 folk do it and then confidently turned to the book and asked it, "What is the meaning of life?" She asked, "What is the meaning of life?" And of course, the archaeologist opened the book, showed the philosopher its answer, and smiling, she shouted with glee, "Perfect! Just what I thought. I'm going to lunch now." And then she left the room smiling and satisfied. And the archaeologist, thinking he had found the ultimate answer in this ancient book, revealing the most important, the most deep question anyone could ever answer or ask and get an answer for, turned the book around to himself and looked at the answer which delighted the philosopher so much. The pages were blank. So this story is reminding me then we write our own meaning of life, right? Not others. We write it, not me for you, I mean, or Ernest Holmes, or Thomas Troward, or Yeshua, or any mystic at any time from before to forever. We do it ourselves. The page is blank. The answer is within. In fact, the great mythologist Joseph Campbell wrote, "Life has no meaning. Each of us has meaning, and we bring it to life. It is a waste to be asking the question when you are the answer. So I am the answer. You are the answer." Well, then you may think for a second, wait a minute. Does that mean that we make or maybe made some sort of deal with God or whatever in the ethos before we were ever born? So we come with the answer already set, like predestination, predetermination? What about all the Big Bang Genesis stuff? Does that not matter? And I was thinking about it, and like what usually happens, I turned on my computer and was looking for I don't know what I was looking for, but this popped up in the search, and it was this story. It was a creation story. And I know I've told all these creation stories before, but listen to this one. On the first day, God created the dog and said, "Sit all day by the door of your house and bark at anyone who comes in or walks past. For this, I will give you a lifespan of 20 years. And the dog said, "That's a long time to be barking. How about 10 years, and I'll give you back the other 10. And God agreed. On the second day, God created the monkey and said, "Entertain people, do tricks, and make them laugh. For this, I will give you 20-year lifespan." And the monkey said, "Tricks for 20 years? That's a pretty long time to perform. How about I give you back 10 of those years, just like the dog did?" And God agreed. On the third day, God created the cow and said, "You must go into the field with the farmer all day long and suffer under the sun, have calves, and give milk to support the farmer's family. And for this, I will give you a lifespan of 60 years. The cow said, "That's kind of tough life you're giving me here. You want me to live for 60 years that way? How about 20, and I'll give you back the other 40. God said, "Okay." And on the fourth day, God created mankind, humankind, and said, "Eat, sleep, play, marry, and enjoy your life. For this, I'll give you 20 years. But the man said, "What? Only 20 years? Could you possibly give me my 20 Then the 40 the cow gave back, the 10 the monkey gave back, and that other 10 the dog gave back to make 80. Is that okay? God said, okay, sure. You ask, you receive. So that is why for our first 20 years, we eat, sleep, play, and enjoy ourselves. For the next 40 years, we slave in the sun to support our family. For the next 10 years after that, we do monkey tricks to entertain the grandchildren. And for the last 10 years, we sit on the front porch and bark at everyone. Yikes. That may be true for some, but that's not, to me, that's not transcending my transcendence. Transcending my transcendence is not a deal I made ahead of life, a deal I have to stick to. Now, I think it's the deal I make now, right? It's the power of now, the deal I make today with myself. That's gotta be what transcendence is about. The meaning of life even is about. Now, of course, there's commonalities that we all have with each other, but what's the most important, I think, is how do each of us see the meaning of life? Is it to be happy, fulfilled, successful in business, some romantic, fun marriage, or a healthy body? Why do we make it so hard on ourselves to find that meaning of life? Reminds me of this story. John and Andy were these two recent philosophy graduates, and they embarked on this cross-country journey because they wanted to better understand the meaning of life, just like everybody else, right? Now, they took with them one of their great friends, Bill, and they thought it would be great to have Bill for many reasons. One is they thought it would be helpful for his personal growth, since he was a college dropout, he was a former drug addict, he was still in recovery, and he was open to receiving, life and information and wisdom. Now, during the trip, John and Andy always made interpretations out of everything they saw. Everything they saw. They saw a kid lying under the bridge, or a bunch of kids lying under the bridge. And then that brought on a conversation about poverty, a conversation about prosperity. They saw kids gorging themselves, on the beach or something, plates of expensive desserts or chips, and just tons and tons of food around them. They talked about gluttony. They talked about poverty in the world and people who go to sleep hungry. When they saw wild animals, once they got into the forest, they talked about freedom and the infinity of space. When they saw or remembered or talked about people walking their dogs, they talked about captivity. And the captivity that we impose on ourselves as well. And all the while, through all these conversations and all this supposed wisdom going on, Bill stayed quiet. So they've been walking miles and miles in the forest, and they finally reached this mountainous region, and they decide to camp there for the night. And they put up their tent and sat down, made a fire, had a little dinner, and they started to reflect on their day, on their journey so far, and the hours were starting to get late, and so they decided to go to sleep for the night and get up early and continue their journey. In the middle of the night, Bill suddenly woke up, and he looked around, and he decided to wake John and Andy up too. And Bill said, "Look up! Look up, John, look up, Andy, tell me, what do you see?" And John and Andy both looked up, and they were immediately amazed at what they saw, these beautiful formations of an infinite amount of stars in the sky. And so per their usual way, they started pontificating on their spiritual interpretations of this scenery and the infinity of life and space and the divine and all this wonderful stuff. And after delivering this long, deep, elaborated discussion and conversation, they turned to Bill and they asked him what he thought. And Bill looked at them and he said, I think this means our tent has been stolen. Our tent had been stolen. They made all this for maybe even an hour, all this discussion, as beautiful as it is about what's going on in the universe and what all this means, and didn't stay in the moment to know what was happening right now. The meaning of life in that moment was, their tent is gone. What's next? You want to transcend your transcendence? Don't think so hard. Just be still and know. Do you think the meaning of life is getting zen, getting centered, being in the flow, having faith, using mental science, engaging in meditation? Yes, yes, and yes. For some, maybe using the red pill or the blue pill or some sort of hallucinogen to expand their mind into the matrix, as they say, or putting yourself in some sort of mental, some sort of mindset, goal, all that good stuff, or a state of mind or state of being as we've been taught. That's all great. All that is fabulous. But what is the most important way to answer the big questions, the meaning of life? Be still and know. Be still and know what moments you feel most inspired by, most energetic from. That's you transcending. Be still and listen. Listen to what is seeking to emerge through you, as you, and then rise up and answer that call. That's you transcending. Be still and allow yourself to awaken to who and what you already are. Right here, right now, nothing added. Doesn't matter your education, doesn't matter your bank account, doesn't matter any of that stuff. Who and what you already are right now. An individualization of the divine source of all. That's what you are. That's who you are right here, right now. Nothing else needs to be added. That's how you transcend any transcendence. There is something within you that sings the song of eternity. Listen to it. Ernest Holmes wrote that. There is something within you that sings the song of eternity. Listen to it. Your transcendence is found in the essence and beautiful action of life itself, of course. So your call this week then is to live in the macro. First the macro. Your call this week is to live life in the macro. Of course, we talk about that every week. Living in the macro. Seek first the kingdom of the divine within, to paraphrase Matthew 6:33. Practice self-care, unplug, realign, nourish your soul, embrace spirit, all that spiritual practice stuff. Yes, that is attaching ourselves to the macro on purpose. But most importantly, practice that self-care intentionally and consciously in the action of life in the micro, in your abilities, your activities of self-talk, of feeling, of belief, of imagination, and just plain old living. The meaning of life is within and active. It's not just a theory. So we need to seek it Listen to it, be joy in it, and live it fulfilled with your choice, and your choice, and your choice, and your choice. Every one of us, our own choices of what health, wealth, love, peace, wisdom, beauty, and power looks like and feels like. We get to decide. You are the power. You are the transcendence. So go ahead, transcend yourself right now, today. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Let us place our hands on our hearts and together declare our love offering blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you for your blessed love offerings.
Multiplied abundantly. Before we get to social media, I want to make sure and double thank you all for joining in. The extra contributions we've been receiving, we are planning on going back to in-person in a month-ish, a little over a month maybe, from now. So all that extra fun, that extra love is going to help us in our opening. So social media. We're on it. Watch this. Yeah, thank you so much. And I do want to remind everyone to go ahead and go on to YouTube, go to the New Thought Spiritual Center channel if you're not there right now watching this morning, and subscribe. Just click that button and subscribe. It helps the New Thought Spiritual Center, and we appreciate you. That's all. That's pretty much all the announcements I have for this morning. I want to thank Steve Apperson. You're going to see below me. Go ahead and roll those things. There we are. Oh, succulent. Yeah, succulent guided meditation. We already did that. You're already on for all that good stuff. You'll see scrolling in a second all the places we we received the music, et cetera, and people we want to thank for all the videos that we created. Of course, Josh Sterling Manley for his great song Radiate that we do our opening countdown with. Josh and Bonnie are in Texas right now and having a little vacay. And we thank you, Josh, for allowing us to use that most fabulous song. Of course, Steve Apperson, who is our director here on our broadcast and wrote and performed Time Is Now. Like I said earlier, we're going to close the service with a song from the Right Here, Right Now band, which Steve leads and wrote the song for Don't Fight It, which you might have heard before, but we're going to play it again because it is perfect for what we are talking about, what we've been talking about today, and what your assignment is for the week. Okay? So for now, before we get into that song, let's close with a spiritual mind treatment and know this together. Are you ready? Let's take a deep breath. Open ourselves up, awaken, and allow this divine presence to come in, to be there intentionally, on purpose. We are on purpose in this moment, right here, right now, knowing, with our eyes slowly closing, if that's comfortable for each and every one of you, that the divine is here and now, that the divine is revealed because it is within each and every one of us. And the meaning of life has revealed itself today. And if it's revealed itself before, it has now expanded itself today. And in this meaning of life, we step forward and allow ourselves to be drenched in the wisdom and love and knowledge and grace of the universe. Knowing that the universe, that God, that the divine, that the power and presence that is within us hears our call, heeds our call, takes our revelations, our declarations, and manifests each and every one of them as we see fit. We know this right now for everyone. I know this for you. I know this for our dear friends, the Reverend Dr. Ellen Contente and Jose and their family, as they embark on their new journey, their new meaning of life, as they make a big, beautiful, safe, and fun move to North Carolina, their new home. We know they're leaving, getting on the road very soon, and so we make sure we know we bring forth the grace, the power, and love of the divine for their journey, for their next adventure. We also remember the meaning of life in safety, in health, in balance, in harmony, and love. To all those fighting the fires in the Pacific Northwest, for those throughout the world experiencing drought or disease of any kind, for those in Louisiana where Hurricane Ida is about to make its entrance, we know for them health and safety, grace and love surrounding them. Those in Afghanistan, those in hospitals with COVID or other diseases of mind or body, that they are surrounded with the meaning of life, the meaning of health, the meaning of love, the meaning of grace that they require. It is here, it is now for each and every one of us. And so I release this word in thanks and appreciation and gratitude, knowing that the source and substance of all says yes, and the law brings it forth as each of us sees fit. And together we say, and so it is, amen, ashe, hallelujah. Thank you once again for joining us. Have a most fabulous week. The meaning of life is you. Transcend your transcendence. You have the power. You are the power. Thanks again. Namaste.
More than quite authentic, and it's beating us down. A longer overhaul, getting through and around. Struggling with the concept that we're gaining ground. All this interruption just confuse and confound. Hell yeah. Time to steal a lane and cover all that doubt that tries to rearrange what our thoughts are about. We move back to stand that creates our false doubt. You can't be you unless you get all that out. Don't hide it, don't deny it, don't compromise it with an untruth. Don't fight it, don't hide it, don't side with it. It's no use, no use, no use. So much innuendo that you may have to share. And never mind distinction that whatever was said. You are those voices arguing in your head. You are the actions that you live out instead. It's an ugly impact you have to embrace. Those delusions that leave you so displaced. Effort and honesty can never be erased. The essence of never can leave a bitter taste. Don't fight it, don't hide it, don't ride it with an excuse. Don't fight it, don't deny it, don't compromise it. It's no use, no use, no use. Stop and realize that you are wrong. Open your mind and wake up. Throw out your ego if you wanna let go. Not be afraid how great and awesome you can grow. Every day raises a curtain to play out your show. Live out who you are, let the whole wide world know. Hey diddle diddle, get your cat up in the middle. Can't be second fiddle no more. Life's not a cradle riddle that you squeeze, stroke, fiddle, while you whittle the badge of courage that you swore. Don't hide it, don't hide it, don't ride with it into an excuse. Don't fight it, don't deny it, don't compromise it. It's no use, no use, no use. Stop and realize that you are loved. Hey.